Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Bobcat Weekly Podcast. This is episode 26, coming to you live from Bozeman, Montana, in Aiden's garage on a nice Saturday afternoon. Episode schedule's a little off this week. Obviously trying to work with Justin, his busy schedule, but we're back on track, hopefully moving ahead. But for you guys that don't know, my name is Keegan Torsdahl, and I am here with
Aiden Kuntz,
Brady Torsdahl,
and special guest this week,
Justin Lamson.
Justin, welcome onto the show. I know it's been a while since we're trying to work out having you on the show. I know Brady, you talked to him initially in football season, but kind of decided better to wait till after the season. Kind of schedule might lighten up a little bit, but glad to have you on. It's almost March now, so we're a little over 2 months from the little under 2 months from the national championship, which obviously I think we're excited to have you on and kind of chat about that, get your perspective on, kind of this whole season and what that experience was like, especially being a newcomer in the season. But yeah, kind of up on the board for this week's show, men's basketball, they just finished up their game this afternoon, which we can chat about. Women's basketball, they play at 3, which will be obviously done by the time the episode's out. And then club hockey, wrapping up their seasons. The women finished up this past weekend, and the men continue on to the Nationals. So we'll get into that obviously later in the show. But first order of business here, we'll kind of dive into an interview with Justin. So kind of tell us about growing up, getting into football, and your journey to Montana State.
Yeah, I'm from California. Basically, my family is like very football oriented. My dad played college, and then at Washington State. And then my brother, he played at UC Davis, and my mom cheered for the Niners, and she got a couple Super Bowl rings when Joe Montana was the quarterback there. So
that's pretty cool.
She likes to brag about that to us. But no, yeah, I just grew up playing football and kind of had a weird college career. This is my third school. 2 years at Syracuse, 2 years at Stanford, graduated from Stanford, and then I'm at Montana State now. Very thankful for all my opportunities, but yeah, this is my last year coming up, and yeah, it's been going good.
Yeah, so I was kind of next thing I was going to ask you about is you've been around the game for a handful of years, seen obviously Syracuse, like you said, Stanford, now up here. Kind of take us through right out of high school, recruitment, all that, and then kind of the journey around landing in Bozeman.
Yeah, right out of high school, kind of senior year got canceled due to COVID, so we didn't have a football season. It got pushed back, and I was like, hey, I might as well just early enroll. And I guess a little bit before that, I was kind of starting off with FCS programs. I believe my first offer was Idaho, and then kind of got a couple in the Big Sky, and starting to get into the Mountain West. And then, by that time, COVID was, really in full effect, and basically all the West Coast schools were taken. So I got a couple Power Fours like Syracuse and Louisville, and that's kind of what I was trying to decide between. And decided to go with Syracuse. Thought it was just a good opportunity, and really liked it when I liked upstate New York when I visited there. So went there, but no, great decision for me out of high school. It was just kind of like a weird, like starting from FCS all the way up to FBS. It was a pretty cool transition, I guess.
Yeah, and I remember Aiden sitting at, I guess, I don't remember if I was at the spring game with you or not, but I remember talking about in the spring, kind of looking ahead to, this past season, the fall. We've got this quarterback coming up from Stanford, and you weren't here by the time of the spring game, so we were seeing the other guys, but hadn't seen you yet, and kind of we're all kind of sitting around wondering, like, what's the quarterback situation going to look like this fall? Because obviously I think with Tommy Malott and his impact over his time here, obviously some pretty big shoes to fill, and I think the fans kind of expected that, right? Like, the quarterback position has been so coveted and so special to Montana State fans. So kind of in that sense, like making the transition from Stanford up here, kind of how much did you know about Montana State? When did that all kind of start? And then coming up here and kind of getting involved with everyone up here in Bozeman.
Yeah, I knew. So I was around, I guess I would say April, just kind of on my own, trying to learn the playbook. And, I wasn't enrolled in class or anything, obviously, but just kind of being around the guys, I thought that was important. So I came up, and prior to that, I didn't know much. My brother played at Davis, so played in the Big Sky. He played at Montana. It's funny, he was at Davis for 3 years and never even played at Montana State, which is kind of weird how the schedule didn't overlap that way. But we always knew that, when Davis was going to play Montana State or Montana, it was going to be a dogfight just because of I don't know. I can just picture like going to his games and like seeing these tough like Montana kids like running all around the field, and a guy named Kevin Cassis. I don't know if you guys know him.
yeah.
Yeah, you guys know Kevin. Yeah,
I haven't heard that name in a while.
he's from my hometown. So like, he
didn't know that.
I don't know, like that's a guy I looked up to when I was younger in junior Trojans football, and Cho offered me when I was out of high school. So I've been kind of learning about Montana State, so knew definitely the background of Montana State, but I guess I didn't know the full atmosphere and how much the people love it here. But no, it's pretty cool to be in it, you know.
Yeah, and I think obviously your first season coming ended up winning a national championship. I don't think you really beat it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty special for you. Yeah, so you mentioned you and Kevin Cassis from the same hometown. That's pretty cool. So El Dorado Hills, California. Kind of tell us a little about your hometown and what life is like down there.
Yeah, it's a little bit north of Sacramento, so I wouldn't say it's like a small town, but you know, everybody growing up was playing for the junior Trojans, like waiting to go play for Oak Ridge High School. That's the high school I went to, and it's a lot of people like me, I guess, that just really love sports. It's kind of a tight-knit community. You'll go to like the local store, like Safeway or something, you'll see someone you know about every time you go, and a lot of people that kind of just raise their families there. And I've been going to school with the same kids, you know, since I was in elementary school, so it's pretty cool. But no, it's a great place to live, and I love California. So yeah, maybe I'll end up back there someday. But no, it's a great place, and I'm grateful I came from there.
It's about the same population size around Bozeman.
Yeah. Was it really?
Yep. About 8,000 higher, but
yeah.
Yeah, so kind of going into your high school football days, I'm going to assume that high school football is obviously probably a little different down in California than it is here in Bozeman. So kind of tell us about what high school football is like there for you.
Yeah, I would say California football, when people think about California football, they think about Southern California generally. I do think the competition in Sacramento is really good. Like, we play against Folsom, who's a national powerhouse, and very competitive, I would say. You know, so there's the open division, and then there's Division I, and then Division II, and so on, right? We're Division I, so if we made the state championship, we wouldn't be playing like Mater Dei or St. John Bosco. We'd be playing probably the step down. I don't know if you guys have heard of like Sierra Canyon or something. You've probably heard of Sierra Canyon for basketball, but they're kind of in like the race for us for the state championship. But no, it's super competitive. A lot of Division I guys, and there's a lot of exposure in Sacramento. I would say that there probably could be a little bit more. But the funny thing is about California is, you know, if you're to my understanding, if like you're a Gallatin, some games other than Crosstown, you got to drive an hour away for like a league game. California is a little different that way, that your farthest game in league is probably like about 20 minutes away, right? So all the high schools are pretty close to each other. Like, we're not bussing, you know, a whole hour and a half trip. Like, that's the farthest we'll go, you know what I mean? And that's like deep in playoff runs. So definitely a lot more kids in the area, but you know, I've been watching a couple of the Montana games when high school football season was around, and I thought the competition was pretty solid. So there's not too much of a crazy difference there.
Yeah, Aiden, you can touch on this. I mean, obviously with you playing, but bus trips for you guys are pretty much the norm. I mean, even thinking about that, 20 minutes.
it's about Belgrade.
Belgrade, we don't even take a bus.
We just drive yourselves.
I think our shortest bus drive we had all year last year was Butte, which is like an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And our longest one was Kalispell, which is like 6 hours on a bus.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
And that's nothing compared to like the C schools where you got to go from like Miles City up to what school did they have to go to this year? I don't remember, but they had to
drive like 7 hours across the state.
Oh, like
Crazy.
Like 18 hours, not even like 7. Like
It's for six-man football.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that, especially in the playoffs, then it gets wild. But yeah, that's definitely different than.
I think if I remember right, the like Flathead games, you guys would like push up times, so you could.
Yeah, sometimes with there's some games where you do move the times around, where instead of playing at 7, you'll play at 6 or something. or maybe you'll go drive halfway and stay at a hotel or something. But
Yeah, that's funny you mentioned six-man football. I don't know if Mason Deathman even remembers this, but if you guys are familiar with Mason Deathman,
Yeah,
he's
I
like,
know the name.
I forget the name of the town he's from, but
I can't remember it either.
Yeah.
It's some like tiny town.
yeah, it's a very small town.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like April last year. I'm just trying to get to know the guys. I'm sitting down, like this is probably, I don't even know if Mason remembers this, but it's like our first time talking, and I'm just like talking to him about like where his town is, and he's like, dude, I come from like a place with like less than 100 people, and like there's like 4 people in my graduating class, and I'm like, dude, I've never even
Brockton,
heard of
Montana.
that before.
Brockton.
Brockton,
Yeah.
population 497.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I coached the Big Sky, I think it's 8-man football team for the summer camps. And I'm like, this is just kind of out of my world. Like, I had never seen like 8-man or 6-man football. I think it's pretty cool. But we got a lot of like guys on our team that come from like small towns like that or just, and they just are ballers, you know. It's pretty cool to see that these tough dudes from Montana are just like out there. And yeah, it's kind of a funny story.
And even like the Gravy Brothers putting Melstone on the map, like
Yeah.
that's a town not many people have heard of. But,
Yeah, I know.
yeah, I mean, especially Brody made himself a giant name here, and Bryce is doing the same right now. So,
Yep.
and I think even too, just like all the Montana guys, like the Missoula kids, Great Falls, like that. I think the fans especially connect with those guys a lot more because it's a lot more like personal level of, oh, he's from Helena, or he's he's from Great Falls, Missoula. So
You can go back even further to Troy Anderson, putting Dillon, Montana
Yeah.
on the map there.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And we got I think Carter Kernow is from Dillon,
Yeah.
I believe.
Yep.
He's from Dillon, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a tight end on our team. He's going to be a stud. Yeah, it's cool to see those dudes come from small towns, and then like their whole community loves that. So it's
I mean,
pretty
because
sweet.
Bozeman to us is kind of like a small town.
Yeah,
Because
'cause
like
that's
you
what we're
know
used to.
everyone. There's only 2 high schools, and then you're like, then you go to where Kernow's from, and your graduating class is like 10 people, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's even from not just football too, but obviously like basketball, especially on the women's side this year. Like have a lot of those small town people like Taylor from Roberts. I think she said graduating class was 10 or 12.
Yeah.
12, yeah. And I mean, Tegan said hers was, I think, 12.
I think it was single
Or no,
digits.
no, it was 5. I think the whole school was like 12.
Yeah, I've never
That's
heard of
insane.
that. That's wild.
Yeah.
Seiko, Montana.
Yeah, that's small town. That would be an interesting experience. Only, I don't think you got much pick on what classes you're taking in high school. If there's
No.
6 people in your class.
Yeah, and kind of like you said, your
Yep.
point of you're probably going to school with the same 10 people from the time you're that big,
Yeah.
but it's a lot different when there's only 10 people in your class. Compared
Could you
to,
remember what your
couple
graduating
hundred.
class was?
Yeah, see, like I said, my hometown was small, and now we got 600 people graduating our class. You know, I guess it's not that small, but for California, I guess
that is small
in
for California.
terms like of where the Sacramento, like I guess that's on the smaller side of things. But no, it's wild. It's wild.
Yeah, I mean, what was your class?
we're about 340.
I think we're like 360. We were just above you.
My
Brady's
class-
class is
We're in the
large.
5s.
Yeah, Brady's class is
It's
large.
insane. We have my combo class. I think we just hit 45 people
Yeah, it's a lot
in one classroom.
for a high school class.
That is a lot.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's again to your point, like the players coming from out of state. It's kind of almost foreign to see that of like there's these towns with like 100 people, like
Yep.
200
Yeah.
people, like and you're graduating with 5 others. Like even to us, that's a lot different. But to the big city guys, like that's definitely really different. So
Yeah.
and I think I heard this year, if not mistaken, Taylor. So at Roberts High School, they have their own high school. I do not believe there's any seniors at Roberts this year. I could be wrong, but I was told
insane.
there's no seniors at Roberts High this year. So
That's
There's-
interesting. I mean,
there's
and
your-
we have no seniors on the women's basketball team this year.
yeah, exactly. So it's kind of is how it goes, I guess. But yeah. So Justin, obviously this past season now being your first season with the Cats, start the season with the loss to Oregon and then South Dakota State for Gold Rush, and we're sitting here like week 2 or 3 of the podcast being like, what are the Bobcats going to look like this year? Like obviously starting 0-2 is not ideal, but, at the end of the day, we were kind of like, the guys are going to figure out it's fine. And then you guys go on a tear for the rest of the season, get it done. So kind of talk us through coming to Bozeman. You mentioned it a little bit, but then kind of getting rolling with the season and then everything from there.
Yeah, that sucked. The 0-2 start was tough. I think that was tough for a lot of people, whether it was the coaches or the players. I think everybody just like, dang, like, I don't know. It's like, obviously losses happen. It's like we're not going to, going undefeated is really, really, really hard in college football. And, I remember just like being like, dang, like I've lost so much at Stanford. Like I can't do this again. You know what I mean? Like I came here to win. And I just think the guys on the team did such a great job just being able to recover from those 2 games. It's not like we were playing Oregon and South Dakota State, who's, they're really good when they're healthy.
Yeah.
And, it was just like one of those deals where I think everybody kind of felt that chip on their shoulder, like that South Dakota State game's it wasn't supposed to go like that. And guys just put their head down and work the rest of the season and didn't look back. And I don't know, I think it was definitely a roller coaster of emotions throughout the year. Like there was definitely games where, we beat Mercyhurst by 3 scores and, people were still saying, these guys aren't going to be the same, which definitely didn't play up to our ability that game, but we were still winning. And I just felt like each week every guy kind of tried to find something to get better at. And I think that was kind of the motto of the year, is like we were never satisfied. Guys were really coachable. And, we were looking at our mistakes even after wins, you know what I mean, and trying to fix those so we knew we had the talent in the room. We just kind of had to live up to those expectations. But no, it was a good year. Obviously very, very grateful for how it ended. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I know, Aiden, one thing that we kind of continued to go back on as we continued to get into the football season was like, yeah, we started 0-2, but like obviously Oregon's Oregon. I think they came in number 7 team in the country.
Yeah.
And then obviously, like you said, South Dakota State too. Like they're a damn good team, and we didn't necessarily play bad in the South Dakota State game. It just kind of
took it to double overtime.
Yeah, it just kind of ended the way it did. So it was kind of like, well, yeah, we started 0-2, but at the same time, like I don't think we need to beat ourselves up over this. Yeah. Like the guys are going to be fine.
Yeah.
And that's what we said week 2, week 3. The guys are going to be fine, and I think. Seth Brock talked about that week 3. He's like, yeah, we're going to be all right. And you guys were.
It's not like you let up, because after South Dakota State, it was San Diego 41-7 and 17-0 over Mercyhurst, and then 57-3 over Eastern Washington. Yeah. And then each game was just, kind of a blowout. So
yeah, that's the interesting part, is like we were blowing teams out, and then there was still so much that we weren't even hitting on. At least I can only speak to the offensive side of things. It's like there was plays where it's like, dude, if we do this right, like we can score 60 points like consistently. Like I just remember like Eastern Washington, like I thought they were solid, like, but there was stuff that we just didn't even take advantage of in mid to second to third quarter. Like I don't know, that's the cool thing, and I still think that's why we have a lot of things to work on in this upcoming year, is because like nobody's satisfied with just what we did last year, just because I think everyone knows that we could take a step one way or the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's really interesting too, because you guys plowed over Eastern Washington 57-3, and then later in the season they almost beat the Grizz, who were a powerhouse in the Big Sky that season. So it's interesting that it kind of came across that way.
Yeah.
What was the next
Yeah.
thing on our list here?
Let's see. Question. Do you have a favorite game from the regular season? Obviously, I think if we ask people, they say national championship, but regular season, or I guess playoffs, besides the championship.
I'll go regular season. I thought the Grizz game, just winning Missoula, that was a statement win just for everybody in the locker room. Coach Vegan, I think that one meant a lot to him too. Just, that's not an easy place to play. Like, that's definitely one of the harder places that I've played. And, I would put like some of the places I've played up against, anybody in the country. Like, that place is getting it just as loud as a lot of other places. But no, I just felt like the guys went in, like, everybody talks about how hard it is to play there, which it is, but like that didn't affect our preparation whatsoever, you know. So everybody just did what they needed to do, and yeah, that was a cool game.
It was a
Yeah,
fun
so-
game to watch, and
Yes.
Oh,
how
yeah.
back and forth it was, which is
Yeah.
kind of how Cat Grizz should be.
Yeah.
To
Should be a
make it
good game.
exciting with the conference title on the line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those, I think, November games, I think to us is when we started kind of really picking up the teams in terms of like, I think this team could maybe do it. Like,
Yes.
you
Yeah.
guys were playing. So November 8th, 66-14 over Weber State. Like, that's obviously a huge win. And then followed by the night game, which I think is probably our favorite game of the season.
It is,
Just
yeah.
It was fun.
Playing a really good team too, and just being under the lights is always fun. And then obviously Cat Grizz win comes.
Yeah.
Then kind of moving into playoffs now. So start with Yale. Kind of take us through your guys' mindset, whatever you want to call it, kind of going into the playoffs.
Yeah, I think there was definitely some momentum just because of the first Cat Grizz game, and guys were, you know, just preparing the right way. I don't think anybody was satisfied after that game. I think we always saw like that we could win the national championship. We just needed to keep going, getting better. But for me personally, the Yale game was like I don't think I played my best just because, you know, I don't think it was a lack of preparation or understanding of what was going to happen going into the game. But I thought they were a really good team. I think they played really hard and they had a chip on their shoulder, and kind of made me wake up a little bit. And I think there was a lot of the guys on the team that kind of carried my load a little bit and helped me, I guess, you know, excel a little bit because I wasn't on my stuff that game. But those guys, yeah, they were good. Their nickel was one of the better DBs we played against all year.
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think that game, Yale, I don't remember who our guest was ahead of that game, but
Takari.
Was
Or
it
no. That was Pat and Jed.
was it Pat? Okay, so it was,
That was Pat.
yeah, I think like to us in terms of like, well, we haven't really heard of like Yale football before, just like obviously not being super involved with outside of the Big Sky, but
Well,
I
and
think
it was their first year playing in the playoffs because of all the Ivy League rules. But
yeah, I mean that was a pretty fun game for
Yeah.
us. Was that that kind of morning-ish? It was the noon game.
yeah,
That was a game we got. If you saw the Instagram clip, you guys, we made pancakes for Takari after the game.
Oh really?
oh yes, that was the
yeah.
week we had Takari.
Yeah.
Then
So
yes.
we kind of
Yes.
talked about it was like a noon game. We're like, well, we can't do like lunch because that's when the game started. So we did like breakfast at the tailgate, and
Yes.
Takari's like, you guys got to make me pancakes. I'm like, we will.
So
Like
we brought him
we will.
pancakes after
Yeah.
the game.
And funny enough, that's our most viewed reel on
Really?
Instagram.
Yes, it is.
24,000 views.
There we go.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. We put them in a plastic bag. You had them in your
I had my
bibs.
bibs kept me nice and warm.
Yeah. He was kind of like, oh, like you guys actually did it. But
Yeah,
yeah, that was pretty
It was
fun.
a fun game.
Yeah, and then kind of my other note on here. So, yeah, take down Stephen F. Austin the next week. And then, obviously, the Super Brawl round 2 here. I think that's one of the best games that we've seen in our shorter lifetimes, if you want to call it. But sort of take us through how you guys approach round 2. Obviously, you win round 1.
Yeah.
Like you said, you guys thought you had a lot more to prove. But kind of tell us about that week going into that game and then the
Yeah.
huge win.
We were so excited for that game just because we knew, like a lot of the guys like probably try and stay off of social media and try not to like look at the hype around games, but like, dude, we were hearing about like what the ticket prices were going to be. Like, it was hard not to look at that just because there was so much noise around it. We were like, dude, we didn't even know what to expect just because. I don't know. It's just like you don't know what to expect going into a game like that, like in the semifinals, national championship on the line. But no, that game is something I'll never forget just because just the way it went down, like, you know, we started really hot, feeling good. But, like, I think in the back of everyone's minds, like, all right, don't get satisfied just because, you know, we know what this is. And they came back and we had to go take the lead again, and then we just kind of ran away with it. And then everybody singing, you know, what we sing, and, you know, everybody getting hyped in the crowd, and just the way that everybody stormed the field after. That was one of the coolest things I've been a part of until the national championship. And then, No, that was just a special moment, and I think it was big for Bozeman and Montana State itself. You know what I mean? Like, there's just a lot of memories in that game. I don't think a lot of people will forget, especially myself.
We talked about, we kind of said the city of Bozeman is going to burn down, whether the Cats win or not. Like, it's either something's going to happen, but I know at least, I mean, you guys can speak to this too, but like my stomach throughout that whole game just being like, I want to go to Nashville so bad. Like, it's so fun to be there. I just want to do that trip. Like, my stomach the whole game.
8 extra people in a row, and we're all just standing shoulder to shoulder. Like, I mean, that's kind of what it's about,
sections
though.
quite a bit.
Yeah. And one thing, I'll throw the clip in here if I have it. Your rushing touchdown down in front of us to kind of start the game off. The first possession of the game, that's probably the loudest I've heard Bobcat Stadium. And then your touchdown down in front of us, like, the video is like unbelievable. It's like, I've never heard Bobcat Stadium this loud before.
Yeah, that was the loudest I've ever seen that, or heard, I guess, that stadium.
Yeah, I don't know how we fit like 25,000 people in there.
Yeah,
I mean, that was just insane.
When the stadium
was the fire
reaches
marshal was on
capacity of 22,000.
Yeah, I mean,
exactly
that's
right.
wild. Yeah, no, that was so sweet. Just like, I mean, that was a fun night too after, and like all the guys were fired up. Like that, those are stuff that you work for, and I don't know, I think that was really cool for the fans as well. So, no, definitely a special night.
Yeah, and I think similar to national championship, kind of a not as much, but roller coaster of emotions throughout. I mean, Cats started off pretty hot, kind of go cold second, third quarter. That fumble, I think it was Jabez Woods across the middle, and kind of like that was almost, I think, that kind of like shift that the Grizzlies had for a bit. They started playing really well, and it was like, oh, this isn't going to happen. And then, I mean, everyone's seen it. The Giant, your big reception across the middle to Taco kind of, I think, started the spark again for us to be like, oh, this might actually be happening.
So that's what I was going to ask you about next. What was going through your head? Because you guys are on your own 13-yard line, 3rd and 20, got backed up a little bit. And, I mean, I was just seeing them like, how are we going to get out of this? And I see Taco take off towards center, and you're almost up at the line of scrimmage. What was going through your head in that point?
Shoot, I was just trying to, I mean, like, hindsight, I was really, before the play, I was trying to just get us back into a good punting, like, position. Like, I wasn't going to try and take anything deep unless it was there. Then we had a shallow underneath, and I was just going to take that if they gave it, just so we could get a little bit out of our backed up out of our end zone, because 3rd and 20, you don't really want to force anything, right? And then scrambled, saw Taco, and just we'd been talking about just, like, working on scramble drill. Then there was kind of like an emphasis from the coaches that I just needed to start taking a little bit more shots, just kind of like throwing it deep a little bit more, just not being as conservative. And I was just like, screw it, like, throw it up to Taco. And he came back, and, dude, like, in my mind, I was just like, I can't believe this is happening. Like, I'm running down behind him, like, let's go. And, like, just the crowd, like, that was loud, dude. Like, and, like, kind of like one of those moments, like, dang, that just happened. You know what I mean? Kind of like the end of the national championship is like, you can't really believe it in the moment, because that's just him making the guy miss, those two dudes running into each other, and then, like, all the boys run down behind him. It was sweet. Like, but no, I guess my point is, before the play, I was really trying to get the ball out of the end zone, give our defense some space, and then kind of just stepped up and gave Taco a chance, and he made the most of it.
Yeah, from where we sit, so we're down, like, if you know where the band comes out, like,
we're right next to the student section.
Okay.
Yeah, like 116, 117.
Yeah.
The way it looked from our side, like, that ball goes up. I'm like, where in the world is he throwing it? And this Taco come across, and I lost my mind. Perfect. I think everyone did. Yeah, I mean, you couldn't see it right away, just how things developed from our side, but that was also, I think, one of the loudest moments Bobcat Stadium has been. That kind of third quarter, fourth quarter, and then following that, Rocky's incredible reception down at our end as well. He went to Bozeman High, obviously Bozeman High, but we still love him. We still support him. And then Bryce Grebe kind of pick 6 to seal that deal. So kind of even talk through that a little bit more of
some of those, like,
kind of how that developed.
Miracle plays that looked like that shouldn't have happened, but it did.
Yeah, dude, that was just like kind of like the stretch where it was like everything's going right for us at that time. I'm happy you guys brought up Rocky, just because that dude is freaking stud. Like,
He is.
I'm so happy that I get to throw him the ball next year. And, like, just same with everybody. Like, we have so many good tight ends. It's actually insane. Like, guys that could really probably go play a lot of places in the country, and they decided to all stay here.
Yeah.
Other than Hunter obviously went to NC State.
Yeah.
Happy for him. But, like, we got dudes. Like, our top 4 tight ends are really good. But, no, those moments were so sweet. Like, it was just kind of like a lot of guys had a little bit of, like, moxie, like we're really doing this. Like, I feel like we were playing with, like, a little bit of swag, just everybody on the offensive side at least and defensive side. Like, everybody's starting to feel themselves. The stadium was getting into it. Like, that was just such a cool way to kick off the last game in Bobcat Stadium. But no, when Bryce started running that ball back, we were getting him crap because his ball security wasn't very good. He was just running. But, no, that was so sick. Like, think of it, like we were talking about a guy from Millstone, like small town Montana. Like, that's the dude who closes out the game for us. Like, that's pretty sweet. So, no, that was definitely a special night. Yeah.
I just love the video of Jones after Rocky's catch of
Yeah.
him just like this. Like, I was doing the same thing. I'm like, how did he catch that? And that made CBS and got how many views, which was awesome.
A lot. And I think back to Bryce's pick six at that point, obviously everyone here knows the name Brody Grebe, and then Bryce Grebe follows. And I think we talked about it that next week on the show. I think that in itself is kind of putting him on the map. Like, oh, Bryce Grebe made the pick six. Like, start learning the name because he's going to be – I'm so excited to watch him in the coming years. He's going to be great.
Deal. That's the cool thing is, like, we were such a young team last year. It's like there's dudes that a lot of people don't even know about that are going to take a huge step this year. Then there's also going to be guys who made their name last year, and I guess, like, guys like Taco who've been here who's also coming back. Like, we were able to keep, like, this core group of guys who have the same values. Like, Zach Cruz coming back another year. It's like you could go down the list and talk about all these dudes that are, like, I don't know. I think it's pretty sweet.
Yeah. I always use this example. When we had Tommy, when he was a freshman, we had Matt McKay at quarterback.
Yeah.
And Tommy was running, like, receiver plays. No one knew who he was at the time,
Yeah.
except a few people who came from Butte. Matt McKay goes down, and they put him in, and we're like, who the heck is this kid?
Yeah.
And then airs one out for, like, 50 yards for a touchdown, and everyone's like, oh, okay, like, this, he's good. And then obviously left his legacy here, but it's kind of crazy. Like, and then some other kids, like Brody was, if you look at any pictures of Brody in high school, he was skinny.
Yeah.
Like, he was a skinny kid.
Oh, yeah.
And then he just put on a bunch of weight and, had a hell of a career.
Guys coming up through the program, like, guys that we recruited out of high school, and they're, like, all – like, that's the cool thing is that's why I respect Coach Vegan because he, like, develops all these people. Like, at, like, Stanford and Syracuse, I guess that kind of wasn't – like, there'd be kids from all over the country that probably didn't even start their career there, like, all these dudes that are playing for Montana State at a high level, like, started at Montana State, stayed, which I respect a lot. I think that's so sweet.
Yeah. And I think at the end of the day, it puts you guys at such a high level of you guys have been together for in your case this year, 2 years with the guys. I mean, the Dowler boys, obviously, Schlepp, Rocky, like those guys that are building their time here. I think it puts you guys way ahead in the Big Sky just in terms of being a complete team.
Yeah, these dudes are – the guys in the locker room are really close. Like, they're all really good friends, like, and it makes sense because they all started in the same class together. They grew up here together. Like, they've been going through all these wins, losses, you know what I mean, off seasons together. Like, they always show me videos of them, like, out, like, 2 or 3 years ago, like, hanging out, and it's like, dude, that's sick. Like, that doesn't happen in college football much, let alone the FCS, you know what I mean? So I think it's sweet.
And then kind of finish off the season, amazing trip to Nashville. We all went, had the great opportunity to go, and we certainly enjoyed it. So kind of take us through your take on the Nashville trip and the game and everything about it.
Where did you guys stay? How many days before did you guys get there?
We got there like 4 days. Our uncle lives down there, so
4 days before?
Yeah.
Oh, so
We flew in New Year's Day, like afternoon. So we had time to go.
Flew in Saturday morning.
Yeah.
I got in there.
So we had adequate time to go do the music stuff and
dude, yeah.
all
place is
that
sweet.
other.
It
Oh,
is.
yeah.
It's
I
really
love
nice town.
Nashville.
It's great.
Like, the country music, just that whole deal is awesome down there.
Yeah.
Every bar you go into, there's like a
live band.
hidden gem, like country
yeah.
singer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But no, that was sweet. Like we had very strict rules with our team, which I'm very happy about. Like we didn't leave the hotel, like no distractions. We stayed 20 minutes away down from Broadway, which is the way it should be. Like guys were going to bed at 9 p.m., like meetings with our guys at 7 p.m., like just on our own, and like it was straight business. And it was cool. Like we definitely did some cool stuff down there, like experienced Nashville, I guess, without doing all the party stuff. Like our coaches let us hang out with our families and stuff. Didn't really leave the hotel much, but we were there for one reason, and that was to win a national championship. And I feel like our leaders on our team and Coach Vegan did a good job of making sure that everyone stayed like that. But no, that game was a roller coaster of emotions. Just we knew how good Illinois State was and how we were playing with a chip on their shoulder. And I think the thing about them is they played really hard, from the start of the play to the end of the play. And no, that game was crazy. Just the ups and downs. I feel like offensively, we were executing well. Then we'd kind of shoot ourselves in the foot, and I bet the defensive guys would say that same. We didn't play up to our expectation, but we won the game, and that's all that matters.
Yeah. Yeah, so we were able to talk through pretty much all of Nashville with Takari when we did our special R-Bar episode earlier this year. Kind of got the good defense run of things. But obviously the big things really in this game happened the second half. So obviously, and really fourth quarter and then into overtime. So kind of take us through, and in that our emotions are like this the whole time between the false starts and then the snap past you from JT, who we gave some crap to. We know him well. And then kind of going forward with that overtime.
His girlfriend Charlie gave us permission to.
Yes. Yeah. And then, overtime, the 4th and 10, all that deal. Kind of take us through all that.
Yeah. Well, I'll start with right before half. Just that. I just feel like everything was going well offensively. We were just moving the ball. Kind of like what we were calling. Coach Sturbick was calling good plays, and everything we were really doing was working. And that 3-play drive right before half was just
that was beautiful.
Yeah, that was you talk about good 2-minute drives and everybody just doing their job, executing the right way, and we did that. And that's something that we practice every single Monday is 2-minute drives. So you're feeling real good. Dude, I don't know where you guys were sitting, but dude, the Montana State side was just going crazy.
Yeah. So
where were you guys at?
we weren't on the Montana State side because we bought our tickets.
Those two were not. I was on the Montana State
he
side.
was.
Yeah.
But we bought our tickets during the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl, so we didn't know who
Before
was
they
going to be
announced
where.
sides and that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But luckily, we were in a good sea of Bobcat fans.
Yeah.
We were
corner where Taco on the 4th and 10
Oh,
ran
you guys
into.
were right
They
there. We were
were
right there.
up that corner.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the two edges were Montana State fans
Yeah.
were. Yeah. So you guys probably had a good view of it. Then the Montana State side was just going crazy.
Yeah.
I'm just looking out there all the boys are hyped. So we go into the locker room. The guys are feeling good, but it's also stay locked in, right? Illinois State starts doing some stuff, and like I said, they're a team that's not going to give up, and they started responding back. And I just remember being frustrated just because I knew that if we just did what we needed to do, the game didn't need to be close. You know what I mean? If we just executed right, I thought we made a lot of really good plays, but I do think myself, I'm sure others would say that we didn't execute the way we pride ourselves off of. So it was just such a frustrating game for me, just because I knew that we were rolling and then we couldn't get anything going, and I think that's really tough. But no, after JT's a great guy, but he's I'm not even kidding when I tell you guys that dude is such a big reason that we won a national championship.
Yeah.
Dude freaking cares so much about Montana State football, and he's such a great leader. But no, I just remember going, they score or whatever. We had that mishap with the snap, and we had to just get back to our sideline, and dudes were pissed. I was pissed. I'm sure JT was pissed, but we had to find a way to all come together and be hey, we got to go win this game in overtime. This is a brand new football game. And they scored fast, then they missed the kick, and everybody's oh shoot, we score, we win this game. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So, and obviously, you know, those 4 plays happened, and we won it. And, like, Miles kicking it is just crazy feeling, man. I can't even, like, dude, I was, like, shocked. Like, people say, oh, he's in shock. Like, I was like, we just won a national championship, and it was a great night. I didn't sleep much. I had to fly home the next day, so 6 a.m. flight. I stayed up all night, so it was good.
And I know, like we talked after that next week show when we got back, the picture that will never see the light of day is you kind of borderline in tears after the game. I think a lot of
not
us
borderline. I was in tears.
Oh, we all were.
Yeah, that was.
I mean,
Yeah, that's
that was
such
a special
cool thing.
feeling. Yeah.
It's like you're not even the first. Like, I've heard that from so many people.
Yeah.
It's like dudes like waited 41 years for this, like their whole life just to go and win a national championship, and that's sweet. Like, that shows how much people really care. Like, just watching the reaction videos, like everyone hugging each other in the stands and stuff. Pretty cool for the community and everyone that's a part of it.
like, I didn't even know the people around us, and we're all just grabbing on.
Yeah.
Like,
Hugging.
It's sick.
Yeah, and I mean, it makes me think of, you know, when I was younger and, you know, asking my dad, like, oh, are we ever going to win a national championship or anything? He's like, there's no way the Bobcats ever win national championship. This is back
Not
in, like,
right
the
now.
Ash days and the Choate days. And we're like, this is when we won, like, one playoff game every 5 years. And, I mean, just being able to see us grow from being that, you know, mediocre Big Sky program to, you know, FCS powerhouse is
so we've
so
been
special.
we've been to every single since we've been alive. We've been to every single national championship.
Wow.
So we went to the first Frisco year. We
Yeah.
absolutely got slaughtered.
Yeah, that was not.
Then we went last year when it was an exciting game, and then obviously this year. But so we're great family friends with the Idens. They moved into our neighborhood when Kenny was an 8th grader, so we've seen him develop all throughout high school.
Yeah.
We saw him win a state championship actually against Tommy, because Tommy was a junior at Butte, and then I mean, it was kind of just an itching for everyone to see him win it, because I mean that was his ultimate goal, was to win a national championship, and it was awesome coming from like our side and his family's side that like that was his one goal of college.
And I think so. We both have videos of Miles' kick.
I don't, because
Well,
I was
you went, like-
crouched over in the fetal position. Yeah, because we don't watch extra points.
Superstition.
I didn't
for
watch. I
fans
didn't
out there.
watch it on. I didn't watch it live. I was watching it up on the screen too. So I'm with you.
No, yeah.
Yeah, it was just so surreal in that moment. Like, kick goes up, Miles goes like this, like the helmet thrown. It was like, this is so surreal. Like, we did it.
Yeah.
Like, we can finally be like, whew, like we won.
Yeah.
Like, that was, and seeing, literally seeing the entire Bobcat side go nuts, as well as obviously you guys all storming the field was, you can't beat it. You can't beat a moment like that.
Yeah.
So going back really quick before we move on, talking about right before halftime, these dudes behind me, they're from Vanderbilt, and they just got tickets because they got nothing to do. And they're asking me, like, oh, what's this kicker's leg? Like, what do we need to get into to get a field goal? And I'm like, oh, he can hit in, like, the 40s consistently. And then as soon as I turn around, I see the breakaway. And I'm like, or we can just score.
That works too. Yeah.
But going into the last play of overtime, 4th and 10, Aiden, if you want to, or going into a cover zero, which was something really interesting. From my perspective, I was like on edge the entire time through overtime.
As were we all. Yeah.
So when the snap happened, they obviously are like, there's 4 guys running at you, and I just see you chuck it. I'm like, oh crap, it's long. Like, I thought it was long because like
We couldn't see Taco come
Taco,
across.
yeah.
Yeah.
like literally the edge cut off right in the end zone. So I thought it was long.
Yeah.
But then I see you like start jumping up and down. I'm like, wait, like did he actually catch that? And run us through like that play.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I'm not sure why they went 0. I think probably just. I mean, if it worked, like, great call. You know what I mean. So probably just trying to speed up my progression a little bit, but. No, it was just kind of like we had been running a lot of in-breaking stuff that game, and I think they were playing Taco hard inside. We motioned him over, basically. Saw, the DB basically trailing him inside, and Taco did what he does, and just, great route. Dude was wide open. That's something that him and I worked on so much, just throwing to a spot and, being able to do that. So, shoot, in my head it was just like, this is either going to be it or we're going to win the national championship, and it's I don't think anybody in the huddle really felt any pressure, which is a really good thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We were just kind of just doing what we do and what we trained and practiced for and what our coaches got us ready for. So it was cool.
Looks like so you took a hit after you threw it there. Like, were you able to see him catching it, or were you just judging off of the reaction?
Well, yeah, like, dude, every time I get hit like that, it's like kind of just listening to the crowd, like what the crowd does.
Whatever one's louder.
I just saw everybody going crazy, and I turned back to the guys on the sidelines, and everybody just freaking hyped, but also calm because we're not done yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You got that one more play.
Yeah, it was very like methodical. Like we score, nobody celebrates. PAT team goes on, does what they do, and then we celebrate. You know,
Yeah.
so that was cool. Just everybody keeping their composure in that moment. Yeah.
I think the one like really surreal thing to me was 4th and 10, guys head out. My uncle turns to me and he's like, "This is it."
Yeah.
At that point, like my stomach just like drops. I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" Like this relies on this. But yeah, that was so fun. And then obviously you guys come back, the parade downtown, and then the celebration at MSU, which we all loved. And I'm sure you guys looks like you guys had a lot of fun doing that too.
Yeah, we had a good day that day. There was a lot of stuff going on, but it was early morning for all the guys, and just that was sweet. Like downtown, just seeing how many people were out there was awesome.
Yeah, the support from really everyone. I mean, all the fans, and then getting like the fire department and police and all those guys, like getting the escort and all that. That was pretty cool. So
yeah, hopefully we can do it again next year.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
That would be nice.
And it was a beautiful weather day too, weather-wise. I mean, considering it was January, I mean, it was a little cold, but usually there's 3 feet of snow on the ground. But
I mean, it's February and there's
no snow out there.
It feels like April.
I haven't seen snow in a while.
Yeah. It has been a while.
Yeah.
Oh,
And to cap off the day, you got to march around the trophies in front of
Yeah.
the Grizz fans.
Yes, that's
and
right,
drop the
yes.
banner.
Yes.
That wasn't bad.
yeah. All right, good stuff. So kind of moving on now, we'll go through our Bobcat Weekly get to know you questions. Finally have a name after however many episodes.
26 weeks.
Uh-huh.
I'll start with the first one here. Favorite place to eat in Bozeman?
Favorite place to eat in Bozeman. Okay. Plaza La Teca.
Oh,
The Mexican
yeah.
place. I think I said
We
that
just
right.
went there for the first time
Yeah.
a couple of weeks ago, and it was
very good.
yes.
fantastic.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
All right.
I don't go out much though. I really cook at my house, but
That's
yeah.
nice. Yeah. All right. What's your favorite thing or things to do outside of football?
I like to cook. I'm a big video game guy too. Don't touch it during the season because it's a really big distraction. So during the off season, I'm playing video games with my buddies back home
Nice.
a good bit.
Any game specifically you like?
Right now, Marvel Rivals. Have you guys heard of that?
Ooh. Yeah.
We have a
You've
we
read
have a
that?
Marvel related question from the Instagram. So
Okay.
we'll,
I'm sure it's
yeah.
from Titan. That's my guess.
I believe it is.
Yeah.
It's either from Titan or Grant,
Okay.
I think, but we'll get there. Who has been your biggest impact / influence in your journey so far?
Definitely my brother. Like I said, he's older brother, so just him going through everything. When I would, not be doing the right things, he would keep me in check, which I really appreciated about him. And definitely would not be here playing football, if it wasn't for him, just because he's like another dad to me. So, yeah, he's stepped up a lot of times.
If you could play any other sport professionally besides football and you have that skill set, what would it be and why?
Another sport?
Yeah.
Oh, if I had the skill set.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd like to be a golfer, but my skill set right now is terrible. But I would love to just go out there. I just feel like that's a pretty sweet job. Just go out and play golf for a living. I'm sure it's really stressful, but no, that'd be sweet.
Golf's been a pretty common answer for this question. Yeah.
That's like low impact, and you get to go travel to all these really cool courses and just
Yeah.
And if
hit
you're
balls.
good, you make absolute bank.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If I have a daughter or something, dude, I'm gonna try and push her to play golf so I
Yeah.
can just be the caddy and hang
There,
out on the
there
golf
you go.
course all
Yeah.
day.
That's a good
And, like,
strategy
there you
right
go.
there.
With the PGA getting started and the Masters coming up soon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right. Next question on here. If you could give one piece of advice to the younger generation of athletes, what would it be?
Just continue to work every day, find a way to do something that day that makes you better than the guy next to you, just because everybody's chasing that goal. And, where you're coming from isn't the only people in the world that are trying to get to where you're going. There's dudes all over the country that are trying to be the best at your position. So just each day trying to find that next gear. And it's really hard to do every single day, but you got to find that why.
Nice. Yeah. All right. Favorite hangout spot in Bozeman?
I really like Specs. If I'm ever gonna go out and eat and hang out with the guys, I like places where I can go sit down. But yeah, if I had to pick one place, it'd probably be Specs, just because it's every time I've went, it's pretty chill and relaxed.
Mm-hmm. Your favorite song and/or artist right now?
I think I would just go artist. Like, he's kind of, a lot of people know him, but Sam Barber is probably my favorite artist, just because I think all of his music is pretty chill, and every single one's a hit, so I like that.
We have, was that our basketball guest a couple weeks ago? Ella, I think she said Sam Barber.
I
know we've had a couple say Sam.
we did have someone say Sam Barber. I can't remember exactly.
I'm kind of thinking Elliot. It was someone recent. Yeah.
What Takari say? Do you guys remember?
Oh, I don't remember.
That was a while ago when he was here.
Yeah.
Takari's always on the aux in the locker room, so I'm curious to what he would say.
Yeah, we might have to go back and figure that out. I don't remember. Oh.
We'll go back and look.
We'll look, yeah. All right, next question. As the 2026 Winter Olympics have finished up, what was your favorite event to watch?
I think I didn't watch that much. I watched curling when it was on in the facility. Then I did watch the United States versus Canada game. So I'm going to go with hockey, just because I think that was pretty cool for the country, just like everybody supporting the hockey team. And like a lot of my friends were watching that. So it was cool to, I don't know. That was a cool way to end it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially because they were on the offense most of the game. And then overtime we win it,
Yeah.
Pretty
Well,
sweet.
and the women winning it in overtime too. Like
Yeah.
you can't ask for.
Yeah, I watched that as well.
Can't ask for anything better.
Aiden, what was your favorite?
Hockey, totally hockey. That's like the only one like I consistently watched was.
Yeah.
I would turn on all the hockey games, and I mean I watched the women's game at school, which was probably not what I should have been doing, but it was definitely worth it.
Each year I'm like, there's like sports in there that I'd never even seen before,
Like
They had a
ski
couple
mountaineering.
that like mountaineering one is new this year. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was insane to watch.
Yeah.
Like how athletic those people are. We have to like skim up the hill and then like ski.
Yeah.
But
U.S. did well overall though. Took home a lot of medals.
having to wake up early was where I woke up to watch the third period.
Yeah.
But I know you woke up at 6 to watch it. But
Yeah, that was a super fun game.
Jack Hughes with the high stick getting his tooth chipped, and then
Yeah, that was wild.
with the blood pouring down with the flag.
Oh yeah.
But I think my close second was like the alpine skiing where they have to hit the targets.
Yep.
Watching
was fun,
Michaela
too.
Schifrin. Because the girl before her broke her pole on one of the gates, and then the second girl missed the first gate, so she got DQ'd immediately, and then Michaela winning gold, setting an Olympic record, and then having the most ridiculous, unfiltered post-game interview because she said she had a sip of an espresso martini and then just went like that. So I think that was kind of fun to watch.
All right, Brady, you want to get our last one here?
Last one, our personal favorite. Who on the team would you not let date your sister?
Nobody on the team would date my sister if I had one. No shot. Okay, but if I had to pick, I'll just give you guys the answer because I feel like a lot of people don't give an answer. If I had to pick, I would pick someone like Adam Jones or honestly Grant Vegan. Like if I had to let someone date my date my sister or my daughter, like I would let that happen just because they're good guys. They actually are, but yeah, probably nobody at the end of the day.
That's what Takari
I'm
said.
sorry, Takari. I mean, we've gotten to know him really well, but he's been the overwhelming answer.
Shot. Yeah, he's no shot. I would let him date.
Nashville, we have CT and a couple others, and CT was like, Takari, you are going nowhere near my sister. Or
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right.
I think also Takari said no one on the team.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he said
That's a
no
good
too.
answer. It really is.
Moving to our Bobcat Weekly question of the season: does pineapple belong on pizza?
Yeah, I think it does. I think I'm a guy that likes to like mix everything together, so I'm okay with pineapple being on pizza. What are you guys good with that?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
I'm middle ground.
Yeah, middle
I don't
ground.
really care.
Yeah.
I like it. I
You
think
you
it's pretty
could
good.
go ask Carson that question.
He
He'll
says
go
no.
on a rant about
Oh yeah,
it.
gosh.
About-
he
about-
went.
he hates it.
crashed
Carson
out.
Williams?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's my locker mate last year, so
Really?
He crashed out. Oh yeah.
yeah. So
I guess
I
8
get
and
to
8.
talk to him about a lot of things. I could see him talking about that for probably.
He said
20
that
minutes.
anyone who does that is mentally insane.
Yeah.
He's an
On par
interesting
for
fellow.
Carson.
Wow.
All right.
Moving on to our now Instagram Q&A here. We got a handful of questions. I don't think we need to ask all of them. We can just do
got
our
some
top ones
decent
here.
ones.
We got
Whatever you guys want. I'll let
I'm
you
gonna
guys
s-
run this
I'll
because I don't
start
have
with
them.
this one
Yeah.
from Titan.
Oh
Okay.
yes.
Favorite O lineman to wear 66.
Yeah, Titan. That's fun. Titan actually, on a real note, Titan was like one of my first friends here. Like we went to B-Dubs like maybe my first week here. Then it turned to us like him showing me downtown. Like, and it's funny because him and I really do like everything together now.
Nice.
So yeah, he's a good dude. But yeah, Titan's my favorite, number 66 for sure.
All right. I'll get this next one here from Grant. Who's the funniest quarterback in the quarterback room?
Whew. River, you guys familiar? River Warren is like a sleeper pick, but I'd say consistently Grant is like one of the funniest dudes on the team. Him and his brother Jake
yeah.
are like
Yeah, they're a fun combo.
Love 'em.
they are awesome and they're really funny.
And
so
throw Luke in there.
Well, yeah, and,
Oh,
and,
yeah.
I,
And
and I got to play with Grant last year, and he's a fun dude.
Yeah.
I do like him. He's
yeah, I'll say Grant though.
good guy to hang out with. All right. You want to get the next
yeah,
one?
I don't have them on my computer, so.
You want to just ask that one?
The Stanford one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is from N. Corwin81. Stanford degree or national championship? What are you most proud of / biggest flex?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be Montana State through and through. I'm definitely gonna tell my kids this is my alum. Like obviously, if they ask, I'll tell them I went to Stanford as well, but Montana State for sure.
Yeah.
Good answer.
All right. Another question from Grant here. Favorite Marvel superhero and why?
Favorite Marvel superhero and why? Shoot. I think Iron Man's pretty sweet. Just like him in the movies, like I love his the way his movies go. I think like just his character in general and his character development's pretty sweet, and like how he interacts with the other Marvel characters is pretty funny. So I could pick like so many though. I love Marvel. I don't know. Titan and I are like big Marvel fans, so kind of nerd in that way. But if I had to pick one, I'd pick Iron Man.
Every time I'm sick, I go on a Marvel movie.
Yep.
Tear. Just go Disney Plus and just start going down the
Yep.
line.
Yeah. All right. Next one on here. This one we'll do Mark Stevens. How often do you think screw it tacos down there somewhere while you're playing?
A lot. Yeah, I try and always get the ball in Taco's hands like as much as possible throughout a game. He's not really like a jump ball guy, so he might get mad if he sees this, but like it's a lot of times whether the play is like meant for him to get the ball or like he's in the progression, like you're looking for Taco just because dude gets the football in his hands, and I mean you guys know he's electric with the
He's
football,
gone.
so
He's,
it's a lot.
yeah.
I'm waiting for the return of the yellow gloves that look like the.
Yes. The ones that
Work
always make me
gloves.
think there's a flag on the field.
Yeah.
Has he not been wearing those?
No, not this
that much
season.
this year.
Huh.
You know, like the leather. I thought like the leather work gloves that you always get from Ace. I always thought that's what those looked like.
Yeah. He's
And they work with the Gold Rush jerseys, but then every single other game he wears them, I'm like, I look at them and I immediately think there's a flag because it's the
Yeah.
exact same color.
they're pretty bright.
And then it takes me a second to realize it's just his gloves. But
Yeah.
All right, we got two from the Kimball family here. This first one's from Chase. Chase asks, how did you stay so calm when playing in the national championship?
Yeah, I think it's just kind of I don't know, like it's more of like a thing where I feel like I prepared myself the right way, so there's nothing really to be worried about. And a lot of people ask me that. It's just because maybe my face that like there's definitely like anxiety that goes with the game, but if you practice really hard and treat every rep like a game rep, you're not gonna be freaking out when the time comes and your number's called.
And then we'll do the second one from Kimball as well. This is from Cade. He asks, "What's the best part about being a Bobcat? Anything you didn't expect?"
Well, I think the coolest thing is just like we talked about a little bit. Bozeman's kind of like a smaller community, just going out in the community and people like Cat fans are everywhere. Like you walk into a local business and like people recognize you. And I think that's really cool. It's not anything I ever experienced in college football before. So, and then I really do like the team. Like I like going to the locker room each day and going to the facility to hang out with my friends. So that's one of my favorite things to do.
That's always been our overwhelming answer, or overarching about the community.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like to us, and especially like the little kids, you guys are like celebrities.
Yeah.
It's like you see them and they're like, holy crap, it's Justin. Like, and they're all nervous coming to talk to you guys. But I mean, everything that I've experienced, you guys have been like so awesome to talk to, and just
I know from your guys' perspective, you like that. Like you kind of just talked about it being able to like recognize in public and all that. It's kind of nice to give back to the fans.
It's fun.
And we heard that a lot with Takari, with like, especially anytime like a kid comes up to him and knows his name, like he will stop for 5 minutes and just talk to the kid.
Yeah, it's cool. I wish people did it more. Like sometimes I can see people like looking at me or like, and they don't want to say anything. I wish they would just say something, because like you actually beat a lot of people through that way in the community. So no, it's very cool for us.
Yeah. All right. This one, you want to read the next one there?
Yeah. Let's see. We'll just pick one of these. This is from Hartley. What's your favorite drill at practice?
Hartley's one of our equipment managers, so she's cool. But my favorite drill is team. Like in the season, we do offense versus defense emphasis. So it's kind of like some people say good on good. Like it's like 8 plays each side, and it's going pretty hard. So that's my favorite drill, just because it's the most competitive. So yeah, 7-on-7 is pretty fun too, just because you get to throw the ball and go through pass plays.
Yeah. All right. This next question is from John Campbell. Walk us through the 10 days after the FCS win. What was it like celebrating a championship while the transfer portal was open?
Yeah, it was really stressful. I wasn't really – once Coach Vegan said that he was staying, I wasn't really even considering leaving. Obviously, that doesn't, change the fact of people that are going to reach out, agents that are going to reach out. It wasn't like too crazy for me. It was just basically being transparent with my coaches, and for me, it was trying to keep as many guys as possible on the team. Guys that I really thought could excel here, and guys that I wanted to be around. So, yeah, it's really stressful because you don't know who's going to leave, and dude that you're really close with could be gone when you get back from winter break, which kind of sucks. But the transfer portal is a good thing. It's helped me a lot. So, it's stressful, but exciting time, I guess, for some people. I don't know.
I know we were sitting back here kind of like a week or two afterwards, like fingers crossed. Like, I hope Lamson's staying.
Yeah.
got that posted.
Yeah, Coach Vegan is. Yeah, it was pretty easy for my decision. I'm sure that was what a lot of people were thinking too on our team.
I mean, it was kind of sad to see Carson go because we've built a relationship with him. But coming from his standpoint, it's awesome that he's heading up to Indiana.
That's an incredible opportunity. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the transfer portal helps people so much. Like Carson's got a kid. Like he's got to go provide for his family and stuff. Yeah. And that dude's he's a baller and a great person. I really respect him. So, I hope that all works out for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Got a couple more on here.
Yeah.
I can read this one. It's from Sarah Wilson. She's a professor at MSU. I'll ask her second one. What do you like and dislike the most about living in Montana?
I really like every morning when the sunrise and the sunset, like just driving in my car, like the sky is like, it's wild. Just like I always take pictures of it. It's pretty sweet. Just having the mountains around us. I also like how there's stuff to do. Like I've never done fly fishing before. I've been able to do that. I just think that's really cool. And a lot of people like hunting and fishing up here. So I appreciate that. And then I would say Bozeman is a lot more expensive than I thought it would be. Rent's really expensive. Gas isn't bad compared to California, but
Yeah.
That's true.
there's not much I don't like about Bozeman, but it is expensive sometimes.
It is quite expensive.
Yeah.
All right, and then Harley put a couple in here, so we'll wrap up. Harley, we'll wrap up with hers. Last one for our Instagram Q&A. How has your girlfriend been supporting you with your move to Montana?
Love that question. My girlfriend is like, she's the best. Like she's from Pennsylvania. She was at Stanford with me, and her just being able to take a chance and come out to Montana and Bozeman, somewhere she's never been, to support me is it means the world to me. Like win or loss, she's the person I go back home to, and is someone that I can always, she's my rock. So she's helped me a lot, and she helps me mentally the most. So yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah, I like it. Great question. All right, thank you to all the people putting questions. Another good round for Instagram Q&A. Aiden, if you want to. Nice.
Good job, Bernie.
That's just going to stay there.
Aiden, if you want to do our trivia question here
Yes.
for Justin.
So with the combine being right about right now, I did a combine-based question. So and how this works is if you don't know it, you can phone a friend and see if they can help you with the question. So your question is, how many MSU players have participated in the NFL Combine?
This is multiple choice, or it's just kind of off the.
I'll give you a range. It's between 3 and 12.
Okay. I don't think.
Fair range.
Oh, that's.
Just an interesting range.
Lance McCutcheon. I'm just gonna go off the people I would know. Daniel Hardy did. I don't know if he went. Since when though?
Since the first one was in 1992.
Oh, shoot. I'm just gonna take a guess. I'm gonna go 6.
You got it right on the dot. It was 6.
We got.
Great guess.
We'll just go from the bottom up. 1992, Corey Windmer. 2004, Joey Thomas. 11, Mike Person. In 2016, Bo Sandland. 2022, Troy Anderson. 2025, Brendan Hall.
Brendan Hall was at the Combine last year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, good for him. That's cool.
And now he's a UFL.
Yep.
Is that where he
Yep.
landed?
On the Texas team. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great guess.
That was
Six.
a really
Nice.
good job
Nice
on that.
work.
Yeah.
All right, moving along here to our recap. I'll talk women's, and then Aiden, if you want to talk men's.
Sure.
Women's basketball. So they're playing right now, which
They're
the episode will be
Yeah.
well out by the. There'll be another game, whatever.
Haven't checked.
So this past Thursday, 66-63 win over Portland State. Sophomore Taylor Chirrut continuing to rack up points, 22 points and 10 rebounds. Another double-double, kind of what she does now. Not as big of a win, I think, as we'd like to see against Portland State. They're not a great team, but Portland State played really well. They held the Cats to their own, kind of took advantage of mistakes. Overall, played really nice. And then to complement Taylor's, Addison Harris had 10.6 rebounds as well. And then kind of another big former guest, Ella Johnson, 2 blocked shots and 1 steal in the fourth. She kind of was able to shut them down at the end of the game. Cats only winning by 3. So well done, Ella. And then as of right now, Idaho still sits at number 1 in the conference. Lady Cats sit at number 2 as we kind of wrap up regular season.
Yep. And then on the men's side, last Thursday we had a 84-69 win versus Portland State. It was a huge win for the men, taking down the current, or at that point, number 1 seed Portland State.
Yeah.
We went 15 for 30 on threes,
Which is insane.
making 50% of those, which was
Yeah.
really good for us. Jed Miller had a team high with 25 points and 9 rebounds.
Another former guest.
Seth Amonrud had a career high of 22 points and 4 rebounds. Logie in his post-game interview said that he still hopes for share of there's still hopes for a share of a Big Sky title. They need to win that they got today over Sac State.
Yes.
They beat them 82-61, and then they need a win on Monday against NAU. That was at 7 p.m. Portland State's still number 1 in the conference, but the Cats are behind them at 2 right now.
Yeah, as far as I know, after today's game,
How many
they're
games
still
behind are they? I think last time I checked, they were 1 or 2.
well, and
Yeah.
with the win today, I mean, it depends.
They're
on how
1
Portland
game
State-
back right now, so
Huge, yeah.
it's depending on that Monday game.
Yeah, and then they picked up another win this afternoon against
Yes.
Sac State at home.
Let me pull up the
We weren't
stats
able
real
to go kind of with like schedules of this and all that, but Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
Keaton
Well done,
Glowly, voice of the
basketball.
Bobcats, just posted, we still have a shot at the conference title if
Yep.
Portland State loses.
Portland State loses, and then
they
we got to
play?
pick up Monday.
Oh, that's a great
I don't
question.
follow that
They
closely.
may be an evening game. We'll look.
Yes.
Yeah,
So overall for the stats for the guys, Seth Amonrud had 21, almost beat his career high again.
Yeah.
Jed Miller had 18, and then Jeremiah Davis had 16. That's what we had for Cats in double digits. So pretty good game overall. I think we were pleased with how we played.
Yeah.
Getting into a little bit of track and field.
Yeah, we'll let you touch on
Past
this.
3 days, Big Sky Conference championships have been going on, and we have a lot of athletes placing. So starting, we got former Bozeman Hawk volleyball player Genevieve Lynch wins the women's weight throw. We got Preston Wysocki in 3rd place for high jump. Destiny, I don't know how to say his last name, but he took 3rd place in long jump. Bunch of school records starting to fall.
Yeah.
Haley Coey wins long jump. Bunch of 3rd places in some of the medleys. Easton Hadelberg wins, takes 1st for his 2nd title. Sydney Brewster takes her 2nd title, breaking her school record again
In shot put.
in shot put. A couple other 3rd places in the runnings, but overall we scored higher than the Grizz, so the score moves 11-1 in the overall standings. In like the town pump, whatever that is, the scoring. So take the 11-1 lead. So and then I think if you're top 5 at Big Sky, then you move on to nationals, which are in 2 weeks, and then the week after that, outdoor track gets started up. So
Yeah.
very exciting.
Cats killed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, great job, track. We'll hopefully start to get some athletes on as they start get rolling in their outdoor season. Next up on the list, women's club hockey.
Yep. Women unfortunately go 0-2 in their regional tournament to end the 2025-2026 season. They had a blast of a season, especially in the back half. It was great to kind of start watching them and to have the girls on the show, which was really
Yeah.
cool. It's just their 3rd season as a club team, so really big for them to make it to the regional tournament and be really good. And I think they're very impressed with their season and looking forward to what they have to come.
Yeah, I mean, thank you everyone for a fun season on the women's side of things. Us catching the back half, like Aiden said, as well as the guests. Super fun getting to meet those girls and get to know them. So
I'm sure they're still riding that high of still even making the tournament.
Oh, yeah.
First time
Oh,
in
yeah.
School history.
Yeah, excited to keep moving forward with that. Men's club hockey. This might be our biggest news on the show this week. As many of you may already know, men's club hockey are headed to the national championships. So the fellas really steamrolled through their regionals tournament this past week, and they took down Denver U 8-0 and then University of Utah 10-2 to secure a spot. They take top 4 teams and go to nationals. So now the interesting part about this is team needs your help. So it's a club team, right? So they're not getting very much funding, if
They
at all,
get,
from university.
3% school funding.
So very small. So I'll read this little snippet put out by the hockey team, and then
Just read the top and bottom.
yeah. So founded in 1998, MSU Bobcats are a competitive club hockey team. They play in the West Division of the Club Hockey Association. Recently won the Club Hockey League West Championship and won regionals. The national championships are being held March 12th through the 17th in St. Louis, Missouri. This Invitation Nationals is a culmination of countless hours, days, months, and years worth of work and sacrifice by our players and volunteer staff. Our goal is to provide a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for these student athletes while also proudly representing Montana State University. Plus, they intend on obviously bringing a national championship back. So funds required to make this trip happen are too significant for our players to bear on their own, especially after already paying for regular season as well as regionals. So now what the team asks is donations and help to support them going to nationals, because obviously that's a big trip to get an entire team down to St. Louis for a week of tournament. So I have the link on here. We'll put it on the post and the stories. We're trying to push as much as we can. Mm-hmm. So right now, as of now, we're filming 2/27, 2/28. Bobcats have raised $22,169 out of $58,000. So let's get the Bobcats to nationals. I think we all want them to be there. We know a lot of the guys. I think it's going to be super fun for them. So
yes,
yeah.
2 national championships in 1 year would be nice.
Yeah, off to a great start for them. So yeah, let's keep it going with the donations and helping to contribute. So yeah, we'll put link up everywhere.
For fundraising, they're by the time you're listening to this, it'll be Saturday, March 7th, they're doing a little scrimmage. So you can buy tickets through the Gallatin Ice website. And to kind of get fans excited, they're doing a little skate with the Cats after. So you can bring your skates and go hang out with the team. So that should be a lot of fun. But
Come out, support. Let's get the guys to St. Louis.
Yep, and I think we're gonna try and do something, another special thing that I won't announce yet with another Bobcat organization to try and help them raise some money. So
Yes.
look forward to that.
Stay tuned.
Yeah,
Right.
Brady, you want to talk high school?
jumping a little bit of high school athletics, it was a busy week for basketball. So last week was Crosstown, Gallatin versus Bozeman. It's always very exciting. Both schools packed the gym. It was at Bozeman this time. I will say Bozeman does a good job of keeping it loud, even though they have a small gym. But both Gallatin boys and girls did sweep. Varsity boys win 56-38. Aiden Brown and Bobby Gutzman, who's coming to play for the Cats, both scored 18. I think, were you there?
I was there
So
for the
that was
first half, yeah.
That was a fun game to watch. Then talking on the girls' side, we got big news coming from over there. They won 66-39, and Jada Davis, who was signed to Eastern Washington for basketball, scored her 1,500th career point. That's the first ever in Montana AA history. So
Wow.
it was at the tail end of the season last year. She had 1,000, so she's racked up 500 this season, which is absolutely insane. But big shout out, Jada. So she actually scored 20 points that night, followed Ave with 15 and Michaela with 13. And then going back to the boys this week, they split 1-1, but they did win their senior night game, so that was pretty good. And then Raptor girls finished their season completely undefeated, going 18-0. And now state basketball is right around the corner. It's going to be in Billings. Gallatin girls take the #1 East seed. I think the boys should get an auto bid, but if not, I think there's going to be a game next week to determine if they go to state or not.
All right. Looking ahead, men's basketball. They have their one game on Monday against Northern Arizona, and then they are off until the Big Sky tournament, which is later, starts Saturday that week. So we'll probably talk on that next week with our guest. Yeah, you want to talk women's basketball?
Yeah, they're playing right now. So you just turned it on, which will be done by the episode's out. And then Monday, March 2nd is our final home game. So we'll be there. Come out, say hi. We'll be talking around with the athletes after. So last regular season home game, 7 p.m. tip off, ESPN Plus, Script Sports for the locals around here. Men's hockey, they're off until nationals as well. Like Brady mentioned, that scrimmage coming up. We'll push that. We'll keep you guys updated on schedules and all that. And then track and field. Brady, you kind of mentioned it, nationals coming up for them too. That'll be in a couple weeks.
We'll keep you guys updated on the stories, but we should have a bunch of athletes heading to the indoor national meet, which is very exciting because last year I think we didn't have many. I think Haley Coey went and a couple others. So I think we have at least 10 going as of right now. There's events still going on. It's a busy day in Idaho for them.
Yep.
Cool. Our last sort of couple notes I want to talk about on here, other Bobcat news. Men's tennis, they open their season today. It's either today or tomorrow, so by the time the episode's out, Portland State. Women's tennis opens their 2026 home season. That's tomorrow. And then the other kind of news, we can talk on this a little bit if you want, but Sac State.
Sac State went to the MAC. Just something to mention. They don't have much to say on it.
We'll see how that goes.
Talk about it next season when they're losing in the MAC, but we'll pay attention to them. And then the other news that got announced, I think it was earlier this week. Hold on, I'm trying to pull it up. Tennessee Tech, we added as a non-conference opponent for football for the 2027-2028 season. They had a pretty good year last year. I believe they made the playoffs, right?
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, they're a good school. So should be a couple good matchups there in 27 and 28. So excited for those games. Should be fun.
Yeah, that pretty much wraps up Bobcat news. Not much to talk about this week. Kind of a down week. We've hit everything we wanted to talk about for this week's show. Justin, kind of last thing before we get out of here, you're the first kind of football guest we have kind of leading up to this season, your senior season. So kind of tell us about what you're looking forward to this year, what's in store, and what the Cat fans should be excited about.
Yeah, we need to take a step, I think, just everywhere offense, defense. Last year, and nobody really. Once that first game hits, nobody's gonna care about who won the national championship this last year. So we gotta keep trying to get better, and we all gotta look in the mirror which I think we've been doing a good job of it, and trying to get better about like our craft and how can we get better as a team with our culture and everything that comes with that. So no, I think the guys are doing a really good job, and we got a lot of young guys that are going to step up, and I think a lot of the Bobcat fans should be excited to see that. And we're still working really hard. It's kind of a year-round thing for us, so we're excited, and we're looking forward to. I can't wait till football season rolls around again, so it'll be fun.
And we were talking the other day, before we know it, it's going to be end of August, September again, and we'll be rolling again.
Yep,
So
it'll be great.
It'll come quick.
Yeah.
And we'll be hopefully season 2 Bobcat Weekly and be really rolling at that point.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
yeah, definitely looking forward to it. But yeah, pretty much does it for everything.
If we want to talk
for
about
the show. Oh
what's
yeah.
not today.
not okay next
Yeah,
week.
hats. We're getting close to
Getting them out.
hats coming out.
Yep.
Yeah, stay tuned. We'll get them out to the athletes when we can, like we've said. But stay tuned for that. Yeah, but thank you guys for tuning in to episode 26 of Bobcat Weekly, and thank you to Justin for coming on and chatting with us.
Great time. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, obviously busy schedule for you, busy schedule for us, but glad we're able to find a date, line up, work out. So
Yep.
enjoyed chatting with you today. Yeah, check out our socials, like I said, Instagram. Aiden runs the Twitter. We're getting rolling on TikTok. We're out pretty much on all podcast platforms. If you want to actually watch us, we're on YouTube too. Yeah, but that's about it. You guys have anything else before we get out of here?
No, Justin, you have any shout-outs you want to give?
Yeah, shout out all the guys on the team, and appreciate you guys. Appreciate all the Bobcat fans, for real. We really appreciate your guys' support.
Yeah, of course. Well, guys, we'll be back next week for one more show, and then we'll take the week off we've got March Madness or Big Sky Tournament and then spring break. So stay tuned for next week's show as we look forward to that. But again, thank you guys for listening, and until episode 27, go Cats.
Cats.